Hello, wonderful people. It's your host of Showmaker Rhymes with Brownie Dessert Talk. And let's talk about the Power Universe, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. So half the stuff like about the show that happened. This is Curtis Jackson's story. So let's get to our first character, what the whole show is about and based on Kanan Stark. Portrayed by Micaiah Curtis, which portrays a younger version of him. So he was introduced into the drug business by his family organization, the Thomas family, and his mother's a drug dealer because she was dating a drug dealer, High Post, which died in 1986, a year after the series started, according to the timeline. So that's how you know Kanan Stark as the monster he is today. Because he used to be a sweet, innocent kid. He used to be smart, and he used to attend the Queens Arts and Science high school in the Jamaica, Queens, which took place. And then the principal wanted him to go. The principal wanted him to attend some gifted school for very intelligent kids in the downtown area. I think it was Manhattan, I don't know. And like his mother, Raquel, we're gonna get to her character in a minute, but she wanted him to go, like she wanted him like to get out the drug game. He never was in the drug game, but like he wanted to get into it himself. So it was his choice. It wasn't hers because she wanted a better life for him, because that's all Raquel, her brother Lulu, and her older brother Marvin knows. So she don't want that life for him. She want him to go to college and get a degree and like have like a career, like have a regular job with state and stable income where he won't get in trouble with the law, and he could avoid jail and avoid prison and, avoid getting in any kind of trouble. Like, she just wanted a better life for him. And like, she said, if something happens to me, I'm going to send you to your grandmother. So that's why I rented my house out to her. And, Kanan said, I'm grown at 15 years old in his freshman year of high school. And Mom, I want to help you. I want to get into the business. May I remind you people, this is the early 1990s. This took place in 1991. So Kanan got into the drug business and he got involved in, him and his friends, including his Hispanic friend. I think he's Puerto Rican or Latina. His name was Angel. They shot Buck 20, the boyfriend of the girl that he liked, Davina Harrison, portrayed by Lovey Simone. She was on Greenleaf. It's good to see her still acting. So her character is portrayed by Lovey Simone, and then she gets in trouble with the police, and they come up to the school and break up a fight between her and the other girl. I don't know if she never went to jail or not, but we'll see that in episode 2. So let's get to the next character, Kanan's mother, Raquel Thomas. We'll just call her Rock. Kanan's mother, Rock. She's a hard piece of metal. She really is. I mean, she's nice at the same time, but at the same time, when it comes to her son, it comes to her family, she's a totally different person. This bitch don't play. When the first 2 minutes of the show, we saw Kanan getting beat up and bullied by 2 of the boys in the neighborhood at the park for his money. And they was holding jukebox back. This was back in 1985, the same place, Southside Jamaica, Queens, because this is Southside Jamaica, Queens story. So after Kanan got beat up, they let jukebox go, and he ran all the way down the block to his house with his mother's boyfriend, High Post. And they was sitting at the table, waiting and scaling drugs, and they was smoking a cigarette. No, I was really going to say smoking a square. They're smoking a square. And Kanan ran in the house upstairs to his room, and High Post was like, do you want me to talk to him? And Raquel took the square and she smoked a little bit of it. She said, no, I'll talk to him. That's my son. And Kanan said, I always like that nigga High Post because he always treated my mama right. And that's the kind of man I want my mama to be with. Which he right. Quote unquote, High Post also said the Southside ain't made for everybody, Rock. And she was like, well, my son is. So she went upstairs and see what was wrong with Kanan. She was like, Kanan, what's wrong? And he was like, he was like, they took my money. And she was like, I told you about showing people your money. He like, I didn't show anybody my money. She was like, then you talking about it then. And then this is what she did. This was my first favorite part of episode 1 back in the day. So she took a white sock and she put a few batteries in it. So she was like, we're going up to that park. Then so like she took her car, she put her lipstick on, she put her shades on. How she looks in the picture, she'll look a bad as hell in 1985. The style was so cool in the 1980s. So she gave Kanda stock with the batteries inside. They went back to that park. They went back to that park. The battle was on, baby. But Kanan wasn't playing no games. And she said, "You deal with them, you deal with me. But they know when it comes. But they know when to run when it comes to me." Mama wasn't playing. She like, "I done raised no punks up in my house." That's how you know Kanan was born for this, because like really like she embedded that in him at an early age. And she was like, "Go get yours, boy." So Kanan went up to them two boys and he was like, cracking his knuckles. He went to the two boys and he went to that little boy with the hat on and he was like, wham! First hit, like blood was gushing out of his mouth. And the other boy was like, Kanan, no! Kanan, no! He beat that boy's ass. He almost killed that boy. And that sock was red, turned from white to red. Damn! So Kanan kept beating the shit out of them two boys that was fucking with him that stole his money. And then the mom was sitting back watching, smoking a cigarette, being cool. And she like, nobody messes with Raquel Thomas' son. And then everybody in this neighborhood was watching. Everybody in the neighborhood like ran to the park and everybody knew his name. So really like, like she made him the person he is. Like you can't promote violence and expect like, your son not to do violence. This is the same case with Tariq and Tasha and Ghost and Power. Like they can't expect their son not to be a drug dealer. If they sold drugs, to get to where they are in life, they had a like nice penthouse or condo or whatever they living in. And then like with Tariq at the college, like he became a drug dealer. That's how he paid for his college tuition, and that's how he paid to get food and get his mom out of prison and to pay that lawyer portrayed by Method Man Davis McLean. So. Really, like, black people don't have a lot of options as far as being successful. Unless they sell drugs because like, we really don't have it like that. There's no wrong with your child wanting better than you, but like, you can't like tell your child how to live their life. If they see you doing something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it. Like, it's monkey see, monkey do with that situation. College ain't for everybody. What's one going to college? You got to end up working a 9 to 5, just like ain't no different to working a low end job. Why do another like 4 to 8 years of school? Like, the only way a black person gonna be successful is if they like an actor, a singer, or rapper, or writer, or producer, or director, or anything in the entertainment business or the show business, or like they got to walk the runway like Tyra Banks. It's a proven fact. Like Marvin told Jukebox, like white folks ain't gonna give you a chance. You could be intelligent and all that. There's no wrong with it, but it ain't about what you know, it's who you know. Black folks don't have connections like white people do. In order to get a certain job and like in a certain career field, Say for instance, if like a black person want to go to school, like to be a lawyer. Okay, once they like graduate undergraduate school, they got to go to graduate school. And once they graduate graduate school or before they go to graduate school, okay, who do they know to get them into the courtroom? It's just very difficult for a black person to come up. And like I graduated high school back in 2016 and here's another thing. A lot of people that I went to high school with that went to college, even though I didn't go to college, I was supposed to go to California Baptist University. I was supposed to get my DNP in nursing, but that never happened. I took on a career in acting. I always wanted to do acting more anyway, and I'd be making more money than a nurse. I want to be an actor or YouTuber, and I'm so many things in the business. I'm a producer, I'm a director. I got my own production company. It's a really Rochelle production, and I'm trying to make that to a limited liability company or corporation. Black people really got to make their own way in life, and they have to make their own path because, again, white people ain't gonna give us that chance. What's the point of having a degree and you ain't gonna use it, it's a proven fact. Just think about it. Like, you could look it up and you could like look up the numbers on that. Look up like how many black people actually go to college and complete their first and second year, and after their second year they drop out, or like they have like things that's going on in their life or they just can't afford it. Or like, the stress of like being a black person trying to make it in this world, or like being a black person in general. That's why black people like 50 Cent and Patina Miller, which portrays Raquel and Ma'Khia Curtis, that's why they took on a career in acting. Every black person can't act. Every black person can't be Tyler Perry. Every black person can't be Oprah Winfrey or Lee Daniels. Every black person can't be Tyra Banks, and you gotta have a certain like look and a certain face and a certain body to be a model. Every black person can't be Berry. Every black person can't be Viola Davidson and Denzel Washington and Cuba Gooding Jr. and all of them. Every black person can't be 50 Cent. I mean, every black person don't have it. Just like every black person can't be an athlete. Every black person can't be Michael Jordan. Every black person can't be Kobe Bryant. You know? Well, I mean, we just have it hard because we're suffering the curses. Black people are suffering the curses because, we're the true Israelites. The Israelites aren't white people. I mean, like, if white people were the Israelites, like, how can they survive in the sun for so long? I mean, white people are made for the sun and we are. So you're saying that we're from Africa, so we enslaved the white people if they're the Hebrews? I mean, look in the Bible. Look in Deuteronomy, I think it's chapter 26 to 68, that God like gave us a punishment. We got to suffer the curses now. Yeah, we're God's people. We're his chosen people. So we're really not meant to like prosper in the world. We're meant to like serve the white people and serve the other nations. That's why, God put us in Egypt again. Egypt, like, really, like, that symbolizes America. Like, look on like a $1 bill. You see the eagle and you see the pyramid. I mean, like, really, like, you can see it. And another thing, why do you think all the other nations like hate us? Why do you think white people hate us? Asian people hate us, Arab and Middle Eastern people hate us, and like all the other like ethnicities and ethnic groups. Why do you think they hate us so much? Because like we as chosen people. We are the Israelites, black people. I mean, so I can really feel where Kanan's coming from, because like if black folks got to struggle and like ain't no point in me going to college and going to some fancy school or way on the other side of town, why for what it's not gonna do me any good in the long run. I mean, I don't have them same connections that the white folks have. And then the people at school gonna be looking at me funny. I'm gonna be the only nigga there, or there'll like be a few other niggas other than myself going there. I'm not going through that. I'm not gonna make my life more difficult than what it already is or what it has to be. I mean, I was born into the shit. I'm born into it, I'm not going to college. And then like, why would I want to like spend like the next 20, 30 years paying back student loans? If it was about an education, like education would be free. So I mean, I don't want to pay that extra money. I could be opening up my own business stuff for that matter. Everything happens for a reason. Everything has a purpose behind it. That's why, black people are like the most hated nation like on this planet, because we're his people. We're God's people. And Jesus is a black man. Jesus is black. I mean, a lot of people say that and a lot of people don't believe it, but Jesus is black. He's not a white man. Jesus is black. He's from the tribe of Judah. That's our tribe. Yeah, them white folks don't want you to know that, black people. Them white folks don't want you to know that. I mean, them being the Hebrews, like, that's a lot because they can't be in the hot sun for a long period of time. And I know back in the Bible days, I mean, they didn't have no sunscreen. There was no such thing as sunscreen. And in the book of Genesis and the King James version, like that's the book that tells the truth. I know there's like a million different versions of the Bible, but the King James version is like the best one to read. Why I think a lot of black people read the King James version. But if you look in the book of Genesis, like God made Adam and Eve from like dirt. Okay, what color is dirt? Black. Dirt is black. Dirt isn't white. He didn't make it from sand. He made it from dirt. So Kanan was like, if I gotta suffer the curses of, being a young black man in America and a Hebrew Israelite, like what chance do I have in college? So that's just wasting my time and wasting my energy. Now I'm not going to believe that the white folks going to give me a better life. They want me in jail. They either want me dead. So college ain't where it's at. I'm not going to school with a bunch of crackers. I'm not. My friends and my family live on, Jamaica, Queens, and that's where I'm staying at. I ain't going nowhere. No school downtown for me. So I feel Kanan's pain. And I know he means well for himself, but that doesn't give him an excuse, to be a monster and be a killer. There's a lot of, good drug deals. I mean, you do what you gotta do in order to eat and survive. Everybody ain't rich and white. That's why I didn't waste my time with that college stuff in high school. I mean, I could have went back if I wanted to, but, again, like I had a lot of issues that was going on in my life between the ages of 18, 19 years old. And, a lot was just going on with me. I mean, it probably could be a blessing in disguise. It's good for me to start my own business and, do my own thing and be independent. It's what you got to do. Yeah, I filled out a financial aid application in high school in my senior year. It was a requirement when I was in my senior seminar class. And financial aid, like, it doesn't cover everything. Like, it covers like 50% of it. Like, you got to come up with the other 50%. Why do you think they want you to put your parents' social security number, where they work, and their information on there? Why do you think like they want you to put their income on there? Think about it. It's more about money than it is about an education. If they say education is the key to successful life, which is a lie. And why would I want to do another 4 to 8 years of school? Now I've been in school my whole life. I've been going to school ever since I was 3 years old. I've been going to pre-K. Ever since I was 3 or 4 years old, I was going to pre-K. All the way up until the age of 18. So, I mean, I want to give school my whole life. I mean, it may do me good, it may do me bad, but it's going to do me more bad than it is good. As far as like all the money I got to like pay to, I'm not saying this because I'm mad or jealous or any of that. You know, I just want to save myself in trouble. And then, like, you know, a lot of black people need to start opening up their own businesses anyway. There's not enough black production owned companies, like, other than Tyler Perry, other than Lee Daniels Entertainment. You know, black people need to start owning their own stuff and stop dealing with these white folks that who don't want you to be shit in life, who don't want you to be shit in life because you're black. I mean, they don't like you. I mean, why would they want you to be successful? You know, I mean, that threatens them. I mean, it threatens a white person for a black person to be successful. I mean, the only kind of black folks that like white folks have respect for is like black entertainers or black athletes. And who owns the show business? White folks. Who owns Stars? White folks. Who owns CBS? On their own Stars? White folks. Who owns Lionsgate? White folks. So white folks own everything, so like they don't want you to have nothing. Who runs Hollywood? White folks. You know, like, you know what I mean? A white person, like, they don't want you to be a doctor, they don't want you to be a lawyer, they don't want you to be they don't want you to be a nurse. They don't want you owning anything. Now, I love to see the young black people go to college. I mean, like, you know, other than, like, you know, the show that came out in the late 1980s, A Different World, you don't see too many black people going to college unless they go to HBCU like Spelman or Morehouse, like in Atlanta. Spelman ain't too far from where I live. Y'all don't live too far from Clark Atlanta University, and I don't live too far from Morehouse. I don't live too far from Morris Brown. Morris Brown is like right up the street, like it's the old campus, like Morris Brown closed down. I have a cousin that went to Clark Atlanta, but she lives in Chicago now. So she ain't completed college, and she went to HBCU. And they're supposed to be cheap. In A Different World is a spinoff of The Cosby Show, and it was like created and produced by Bill Cosby. But like other than A Different World, like you don't see too many like shows like that portray like young black people going to college today in 2021. You don't. Yeah, A Different World ended in the late 90s, like after like Danny Cash, Jada Pinkett, and Bumper Robinson, and like Ajayi Sanders and all them on there. That show ended. Yeah, Dwayne, Freddie, you know, and Willie and all them were about to graduate from college. So, like, you know, like you and she see too many shows like about young black people going to college nowadays. I mean, I love A Different World. I might have to start watching. I watch. And another issue with it being difficult for young black people to go to college and be successful, as far as like getting an education, like black people don't support their own people. Black people don't want to see their own people win. You know, like, you know, they don't even want to see their own son and daughter go to college. I mean, that's how black people be. They don't want like their son and daughter to pass them. And they college. I mean, if they didn't want they to go to college, why would they want to see their own son and daughter go to college? Why would they want to see their own niece or nephew or grandson or granddaughter go to college? Why would they want to see their younger cousin go to college? You know, that's how we are as a people and as a nation. And it's not right. You know, it's really not. And like we keeping that like curse going. You know, or like, you know, black people, like they don't want one child to be successful, but they want the other children to be successful when it benefits them. You know, it kind of hits home. Okay, next character introduction. Raquel's younger brother, Lulu. Lulu is like her right-hand man, and like she always shows up for him, and like, I mean, he always shows up for her, and like, he's a gangster and he's bad. Don't mess with Lulu. Raquel's younger brother. This is Marvin, Raquel's older brother, and he always hungry and he always looks for an opportunity. He always show up at the right time. And this is also Jukebox father. And you don't want to mess with Marvin either. Especially Marvin because he's the oldest and he always hungry. That's the funny part about him. He got a sense of humor, but don't mess with none of the Thomases, okay? All right. Okay, this is Jukebox. um Kanan's cousin that was a cop in DC, and then like she likes women and she became a lesbian like in her like younger years. And then like she's very talented and like she likes to sing in the choir. But like something that happened to her life, like something that happened to her in her life that made her change and made her become like the evil, corrupted like person and cop that she is today. Don't let the sweet innocent faces, don't let her singing voice fool you. I mean, she's a gangster too, just like Kanan is, because like she's a Thomas. You know, she has her mother's last name Ganner, and her first name is Laverne. But like, no, we meet Jukebox in like the I think the second season, no, the third season of the first and second episode. Yeah, watch out for Jukebox. She doesn't play. And her younger version is portrayed by Haley Kilgo. She plays the younger version of Jukebox. But like, I'ma love to see how these characters grow throughout this entire series, because we also do have a season 2, so we have like enough time to get to know these characters. I don't know about season 3, but she like this little white girl that she met like at a recital. Like she went on the other side to, I think it was Manhattan, to like all white girls private school, and I forgot this white girl's name, but I know they like one another. I know they like each other. And in the second episode, like, Jukebox tells Raquel, please don't tell my father, because she doesn't want Marvin to find out that she's gay. And Raquel was like, I got somebody too. Cause like, she's not worried about telling Marvin, because like she know Marvin automatically go find out what's in the dark, always go come to the light. So she gonna hide it for so long. Next character, Davina Harrison. Davina Harrison is Kanan's crush ever since the first grade. And Jukebox asked, how long is she returning to the left? Kanan said ever since the first grade. And she's in love with a $120. Yeah, she has like, feels for Kanan still, but like she's in love with $120 because he's the most popular like guy in the school. And then like Kanan killed this nigga. And he got his blood on his sweater. So we're going to see how Kanan's and Davina's relationship is going to be throughout the whole series. And see how this fight's going to go between her and the other girl or whoever she's fighting. I don't know if it's Jukebox or not. But anyway, thank you for watching my content. And episode 6 is going to be about what I have from Bad to Bible with Victoria's Secret. I love you guys. Thank you for watching my content. If you want to see more videos and if you have any questions, please comment below and I'll kindly answer your questions, any questions that you have. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I love you guys and have a blessed day.